Sometimes I see people on my Discord server who can be pretty decent at blockbuster and aperture, but have almost no knowledge about morphs. So in this video, I'll try to fix that knowledge gap. This video will be about what are morphs, how to edit and manage them. I'll be using latest versions of my mods, MacLib 2.3, Metamorph 1.2.8, and Blockbuster 2.3. Let's get into it. So, what are morphs? A morph is a thing that allows people to change the appearance of something, and sometimes even certain properties. Morphs can be used by players, living entities using Entity Selector, blockbuster actors, model blocks, gun projectiles, and map at NPCs. There are a dozen of different morph types that allow you to turn yourself, actors, and etc. into anything, items, particles, blocks, 3D models, etc. Morphs can be managed, edited, and used within Metamorph's Creative Morph menu, which can be opened in creative mode by pressing B key by default. There, you'll find a lot of different morphs, depending upon which mods you have installed. Some of my mods like emoticons, Chameleon, and Blockbuster even add their own morph sections. If you want to turn into something, all you have to do is to click there on literally any morph, and either click morph button, or press enter on your keyboard. And once the menu will close, if you'll switch to third person, you'll see that you turned into that morph. Most of morphs can be configured. For example, here is an emoticon's morph, whose pose, scale, and etc. can be changed. In order to change these settings, you simply click on the morph, and either click edit button, or press E on your keyboard. It will take you to a dedicated morph editor where you can tweak morphs options. Once you're finished, you can exit the morph editor by clicking this X button, or pressing escape key on your keyboard. There you'll see your custom morph in recent morph category under user morphs section. If you'll morph into it, you'll see yourself using that configured morph. Now let's talk about user morphs section, and saving morphs. In the user morphs section, you can manage your own morphs that weren't added by any of my mods. There are three main types of categories here: your morphs, recent morphs, and user categories. Your morphs category stores morphs in individual worlds. They can be also used in survival mode, using the survival morph menu, which can be opened by pressing X key by default. To acquire a morph, simply pick a morph, and press the acquire button in the top right corner. Recent morphs category stores temporary morphs that you edit. Once you'll exit the world, they will be gone. They are useful if you want to quickly configure a morph, and you're not sure if you actually want to keep it, but once you're sure you want to keep it, you can add it to your morphs category, or to a user category, which segues into next section. User categories are stored on the client, and you can create as many of these as you want, and they can be accessed in other worlds as well. You can create a new category by right-clicking anywhere in the user morphs section, and pick the option add a new category. Once a user category is created, you can rename it to anything you want, for example animals, and then add their morphs from any other category, by right-clicking a morph and adding it to global morphs, and then picking the name of desired user category. So that's it about user morphs section. Here is a demonstration of the persistence of these categories. I have two worlds, World A and World B. Right, I'm in World A, and I have different acquired morphs in both worlds. I have some recent morphs in this world, and I have a user category with some morphs. If I'll exit this world, and go to World B, you'll see that there will be no longer recent morphs, and your morphs category will have absolutely different morphs, while user category will have same exact morphs. That's how it works. And important thing to note, you can edit morphs in your morphs and user categories directly, only in Creative Morph menu. Editing a morph in either categories, outside of Creative Morph menu, like in Scenes panel, will result in morph being copied to recent morphs instead. Finally, I want to show you a couple of things related to morph management. First thing is, you can copy and paste morphs in text format. Let's say you did some cool edit of a morph, right, and you wanted to send to a friend. It's really easy to do. Simply right click on the morph, and click on copy NBT, This will copy the text representation of the morph to your copy paste buffer. Then, send that text to your friend by pasting. Ask them to copy the text. Create a new user category. Right click on the category and paste NBT. Now your friend will have that morph too. And that's how you can share individual morphs. And the final thing. Every morph has a panel where you can edit common morph properties. On the left side, you can change keybind, display name, maximum health, speed, abilities, attack, and actions. And on the right you can add a custom hitbox. I'm certain that these options are self-explanatory, so I'll just change these randomly and let it stay in the recent morphs category. Once I'm in the world, if I'll press numpad 7, which is the keybind that I set up, I'll turn into Speedy Mushroom that has a giant hitbox, can throw fireballs and glide. So yeah, that's the Morph Management 101. I hope that this video was useful for both new and experienced users. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.